Hello class, today we are here to tell you guys about the Dred Scott decision.
Dred Scott was an enslaved man. He lived in Missouri, and it was believed that he was born into slavery around the 19th century. Dred Scott's enslaver name was Peter Blau. Scott was purchased by John Emerson. He lived in Missouri, which was an enslaved state. He then moved to Illinois, which was a free state, and after to Wisconsin, which was a free territory. Scott met and married his wife in Wisconsin, which is a free territory. So his wife was a free woman. And they then started a family. John then died. John was the slave owner, which was Scott's owner, basically. And then that left his wife, which was Irene. Irene didn't want to let them buy their freedom. So this is when Scott decided to sue for his freedom.
That if an enslaved person was relocated to a free state or territory, they were considered free, and they couldn't be enslaved when re-entering an enslaved state. Dred Scott then did win freedom in 1850. The case was appealed to the Missouri Supreme Court, which ruled against the lower court's ruling. Dred Scott was sent back into slavery, but he didn't give up. Abolitionists helped him file a lawsuit in the federal court. Irene had already left and got remarried, so the case turned to her brother, and he had to handle it now.
The case reached the U.S. Supreme Court and it didn't go well at all. Trouble was created between the North and South when trying to decide what these states would end up becoming. The Supreme Court had many questions to answer at this moment as to what would happen if a slave was in a free area, and what would happen if they re-entered slave states. Would they be slaves or not? Was a question that hovered over their minds during this case. Dred Scott unfortunately didn't win this case because it was said that African Americans weren't even citizens of states, and that they would never be considered citizens either. Abolitionists were angered because it was said that Congress nor the government had the power to ban slavery during this time. African Americans weren't able to do many things. They were very limited.
And that was the end for today's video. We hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.